Namah Parvati Pataye Govindanam Sankirtanam.
Namaste everyone. Very happy to see you all here again for Bhagavatam session. Before moving on to the other Charitrams, we will start with an invocation. Om Shuklam Bardaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chadurbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Vashantaye. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha, Guruve Sarva Lokanam, Vishaje Bhauroginam, Nidhiye Sarva Vidyanam, Dakshinamurti Namaha. தென்னாடுடைய பெரியவா போற்றி எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி சர்வஜ்ஞா சர்வவ்யாபி பெரியவா சரணம் மாயப்பிறப்பருக்கும் மகா பெரியவாடி போற்றி. ஓம் ஜன்மாத்யஸ்ய யதோ அன்வயாதம் இதரதச்சார்த்தேஷு அபிஜ்ஞः ஸ்வராட் தேனே பிரம்மஹ்ருதாயாதிகவயே முஹ்யந்தி யத்சூரயः தேஜோ வாரிமிருதாம் யதா விநிமயோ யத்ர த்ரிசர்கோ மிருஷா दाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तगुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. So in the previous session, we have seen Mohini Avataram. Bhagavan Mahavishnu took Mohini Avataram and and distributed all the Amridam, nectars to all the Devas. And after this Mohini Avataram, what happened is Devas regained their strength and, they got the kingdom back. But, due to their power, due to their power and position, what happened? They became so proud of their kingdom, of themselves, and they slowly started to forget that because of this Deva Balam only they regained their strength and kingdom. They forgot all about that. They started marrying about their own victory and, they were enjoying all the kingdom and everything. Once, what happened? Sage Durvasa, he came. He came from Kailasam, bringing all the, carrying all the prasadams, like, flowers and garlands and all the prasadams from Kailasam to the assembly of Indra. And Devendran, who was the head of all the Devas at that time, he was enjoying, the dance and merriment of, of all the Devadasis there. And with all the hailing Devas, he was coming in a procession. That is, he was sitting on the back of the elephant, and he was coming, and all the Devas were, hailing him. Jai Vijay Baba, Jai Vijay Baba. And at that time, this Durvasa, the sage Durvasa, he went there. He is a very great sage. He's a great devotee of Ambal, and he has written 19 slokams of Ananda Lahari. And he reached there with all the prasadams from Kailasam, and he wanted to give it to Devendran. So he came there, and Devendran, he gave it to Indran, who is sitting in the back of an elephant. But Devendran, without even seeing the prasadam, he kept the prasadam in the elephant's head. The elephant will not be calm, The elephant is it's an animal after all. So what happened is, this elephant pushed the prasadam down. And, seeing all these things, even an ordinary priest will get angry seeing all these, happenings. Sage Durvasa, he is famous for his angry. Actually, he would get angry anytime. So, he is famous for his anger. And so, what happened is, he cursed Indran. He told, see, you are so proud of your wealth, and you got all this trilogyam, you all this 3 worlds, you got everything because of this Deva Balam, but you forgot all these things, and you are enjoying, and you are not obeying in a humble way. And so what will happen is, all this kingdom and all your things will go to your enemy. So he cursed Devendran. what happened? Devendran became, he got morose, he got sad. That is, he was so sad as the kingdom will go to this, his enemy. So Indran became so weak because of this curse. Devendran became so weak, and the Asuras, they easily got the kingdom from Indran. So all this happened because of, because of not being humble to the elders. Position, power, money, everything will come and go, but you have to be humble to, the gurus, our acharyas, particularly to our elders. Thus, devas were without the kingdom now. They were all wandering here and there without the kingdom, and asuras became, very powerful. And all the asuras, they started controlling devas. So they were scared of, asuras. Devas were very scared of asuras. They became very scared. Here, Aditi Amma. Aditi is the mother of devas. Kashyapa Munivar, sage Kashyapa, got two wives, Aditi and Diti. All the asuras were the son of Diti, and all the devas are the sons of Aditi. So, seeing the suffering of her children, Aditi got, became very sad, and he went to sage Kashyapa, her husband, and asked for a solution for that. She said, "Aren't you aware of our children, suffering? Why can't you give do something so that they can come out of this bad, situation?" She then requested, Kashyapa Munivar to tell her, how the sons could return, could return and reoccupy their positions. That is the kingdom back. They can get the kingdom back. At that time, Mahabali, Maharaja Mahabali is the king of Asuras. And, Mahabali, after doing all the Ashwamedha Yagam and all, became the ruler and started to enjoy, ruling all the three worlds. So here, moved by the request of Aditi, Kashyapa Munivar initially wanted her to, to know about the real, realistic thing. Like, he wanted to instruct her in the philosophy of self-realization and the difference between the matter and spirit, and, how you should be unaffected by the material laws and everything. He wanted to instruct his wife. But when he saw this Aditi was not satisfied, even after he had given these instructions, he advised her to worship Narayana, Vasudeva, Janardana. He said, you have to pray to Lord Vishnu. When Aditi accepted to worship, Vasudeva, she asked, kindly instruct me the proper way, that is a perfect method of worshipping the Lord. So the sage, the Kashyapa Muni, he instructed Aditi to keep Payovratam. That is, Payovratam is the Vratam, in the bright fortnight of the month of Phalguna, like in this February and March, for 12 days ending with Dwadasi, one should observe the vow of subsisting only on milk. Only on man should worship the lotus-eyed Vasudeva with full devotion. And one should, lie only on the floor and do homam and, annadanam, and always think of God. One should, perfectly honor the respectable brahmanas, and one has to feed them. And then only after, after feeding the brahmanas, and then only they have to take the, permissions and permission from the brahmanas, and then one should take the prasadam with his friends and relatives. So in this way, until 12 days, have passed, and one should worship like that. Just a minute, I think my video is getting, yeah. I don't know why my video is getting, just a minute. Yeah. Something is going wrong. Just a minute. Just a minute. So one should take the prasadam after 12 days have passed. One should observe this Payovratam, worshipping the Lord every day, executing the routine duties, performing sacrifices, and feeding the brahmanas. So sage Kashyapa instructed Aditi to follow these instructions, and keep Payovratam. And after that, the Lord himself will appear. Lord himself will appear in your womb and fulfill your desire. That's what Kashyapa Munivar told Aditi to keep this Payovratam. So after this Aditi performed this Payovratam for, ceremony for 12 days, 12 continuous days, what happened? The Lord appeared before her. So she was very, very, pleased. Aditi was very pleased to see with the 4 hands, the Lord with 4 hands and dressed in yellow garments like Peetham. Seeing the Lord, in front of her, what happened? Her voice choked and she was all trembling. And after remaining, silent for some time, she offered her prayers. And as per her wish, Lord agreed, Lord Vishnu agreed to enter into the womb of Aditi. So on the day of Shravana Dwadasi, the Lord appeared in the universe. So on Dwadasi, the 12th day of the moon, the sun was at the meridian, and this Dwadasi is called Vijaya. So Lord, Vishnu appeared as a Vamana Murti there, and he, after after the birth, immediately he grew into a 5-year-old boy with the 2 hands, and he got his Upanayanam also on the same day at the age of 5. So on the day of Upanayanam, what happened? Lord Suryan did this Gayatri Upadesam to this Vamana Murti, and Brihaspati gave Yajñopavitam, and this mother Aditi, he gave this Kaubinam and Vastram. And each one, all the devas started giving all the gift to this Vamana Murti who was born there. So Gubera gave this Bhiksha Patram, and Saraswati gave Japamalai. And see here, this Apastambar, here he has told the first person you ask for Bhiksha, that is after this Upanayanam, after this Poonal ceremony, this boy will go for Bhiksha, taking Bhiksha, and the first person you ask for Bhiksha should be the person, who would say yes. That is, you should not go to a person and ask for Bhiksha who would say no. So the only person who would say, say yes and give Bhiksha is Amma. Isn't it? Mother is the mother. So the Bhiksha should be from Amma first. And then next should be from the sister. That is what Apastambar have told. And this Vamana Murti is, is born as a brother of Indran, Devendran. Now Indran is without the kingdom, and the Vamana Murti has to go to Mahabali. And, see, he is born as a Brahmin. So a Brahmin can go and beg for alms. That is, he can go and take Bhiksha from somebody's house. So here, Vamana Murti, as he has born as a Brahman, so he can go to Mahabali. He has plans. The Vamana Murti has to go to Mahabali and get the kingdom back to Indra. So before going to Mahabali for Yachakam, he has to, get Yachakam from the right hands, who would not say no. Okay, so Vamana Murti went to Annapurani. The first Bhikshai or the first Yachakam he did is from Annapurni and asked for first Bhikshai. Bhiksham Bhagavati. Bhiksham Bhagavati Sakshad Dhuma Dam Ambika Sati. So it is having, thus been, he is welcomed by everyone, but all the devas, Lord, this Vamana Murti, Vamana Avataram, Lord Vamana, the best of the brahmacharis, exhibited his Brahman effulgence. That is, he maintained brahmacharyam for 2 years. And after that, this Lord Vamana Murti set a sacrificial fire, he offered worship and, and performed a fire sacrifice on the, sacrificial field. As a brahmachari, he did everything. And when the Lord heard, afterwards, he heard that Mahabali, that is Mahabali, Raja Mahabali, was performing Ashwamedha Yajnam under the patronage of all the Brahmanas, belonging to the Bhrigu dynasty. So Lord Vamana, what happened? Lord Vamana, who is full of, who is full in every respect, proceed there to show his mercy to Maharaja Mahabali. So he wants to go to that yajnam and ask for yachakam from Mahabali. So while enjoying in while engaged in performing this yajnam in the field, in some field in the northern bank of the Narmada river, this Brahminical priest, everyone was sitting there, the descendants of Bhrigu. They are all sitting there. They are all doing this yajnam and yaham there, along with Maharaja Mahabali. There, they say this Vamana Murti coming to get yachakam. But they saw this Vamana Murti to be like the sun rising nearby. That is how they saw this Vamana Murti. Sukacharya here told to Parikshit, like because of this Vamana's bright effulgence, what happened? The priests, along with all this Bali Chakravati, they are all the members of the other assembly began to ask one another, like whether this sun god himself has come, or whether Sanat Kumara is coming, or whether, fire god has personally coming, to see this sacrificial ceremony. They were all, they were all talking to each other. While they were all arguing in various ways like this Vamana Murti, holding, he is describing. Then now the Sukacharya is describing how the Vamana Murti has come there, visiting this Yajnasalai. He is holding his hands in the rod, the umbrella, and a water pot full of, water, chanting Veda mantras, wearing Maravuri, and, Pinji Kairu. And, appearing as a Brahmana by wearing a belt of straw, a sacred thread in the upper, the upper garment of deer skin, and with the matted locks of hair, this Vamana Murti entered the arena of this sacrifice. He wore this, deer skin as his upper garment. For this, Desikan has described, has given a commentary. Like since Mahalakshmi, the Mahalakshmi is in the Vakshasthalam of the Lord. And if Vamana Murti went there with this Mahalakshmi in the Vakshasthalam, what will happen? The Mahalakshmi is the Lord of Fortune. She will give all the wealth, so the Mahabali will get the Kataksham of Mahalakshmi. And then even Vamana Murti could not do anything. So that is why, in order to hide Mahalakshmi, he has deer skin as an upper garment. That's what the Desigan has said in his commentary. What happens when everybody here, they are all seeing Vamana Murti coming there. They all stood. After seeing Vamana Murti, they all stood and welcomed him. Bali Maharaja, worshipped him by washing his lotus feet. Maharaja Bali said, I offer you my hearty welcome and my respectful, obeisances. Please let us know what we may do for you. We think of you as a personified austerity of the great Brahmana sages. And he's praising this Lord. As a Vamana Murti, he is praising, as Bali Chakravarti is praising him. Like, oh my Lord, because you have kindly arrived our home, all my forefathers, all my forefathers are satisfied. And because of washing your small lotus feet, Kunjikal, the sacrifice we are performing is now complete. And because of your presence. And he is saying, O son of Brahmana, today the fire of sacrifice is ablaze, according to the injunction of the Shastra. And I have been freed from all the, sinful reactions of my life by the water, by the water, by pouring the water in my head, all my sinful reactions are gone. So, oh my Lord, by the touch of your small lotus feet, the entire surface of the world, has been sanctified. See, Mahabali is praising the, small Vamana Avataram Murti now. O son of Brahmana, it appears that you have come here to ask me for something. So therefore, whatever you want, you may take from me. Oh, best of those who are, worshipable, you may take from me. If you want a cow, I can give it. If you want gold, I can give it. Or, furnished house, I can give it. Or otherwise, if you want to get married with a beautiful girl, then I will, the daughter of a Brahmana, some Brahmana, then I will arrange for that. If you want prosperous villages, how horses, elephants, cows, chariots, or whatever you desire, I will give it. When Bali Chakravarti, that is this Bali Maharaj, thinking Vamana, the son of a Brahmana, told him to ask for anything he liked. The Supreme Lord, this Mahavishnu, so the Supreme Lord heard Bali Maharaj, speaking in a pleasing way, in a very, very, very pleasing way. He was very, very satisfied. He was very satisfied for Bali Maharaj, has spoken, in terms of religious principles he has spoken. And thus the Lord began to praise him. He said, O king, you are indeed exalted, you are indeed exalted because your grandfather is Prahlada. Your grandfather Prahlada was a Bhagavatam. And your present advisors, your present advisors are the Brahmanas who are the descendants of Bhrigu. That is, he is praising Sukracharya. Sukracharya is the guru or the spiritual guru of Mahabali. So he was praising Sukracharya because he doesn't want to create any enmity between him and Sukracharya now. So whatever your statements are very true. See, your statements are very true, and they all completely agree with all the religious etiquettes. So nobody will ask here, you're yachakan, you're beggar, what do you want? I will give you whatever you want, I will give you. Nobody will do that because he is not any son-in-law. So no one has refused to give charity to Brahmanas, nor after promising to give charity has anyone failed to fulfill the promise. So, oh Mahabali, never in your dynasty has this low-minded king been born who, upon being being requested, has refused the charity to Brahmanas in holy places or a fight to Kshatriyas in a battlefield. So, and your dynasty is even more glorious. See, he is hailing, Vamana Avataram Murti is, now praising Mahabali. He's all hailing Mahabali. So he is saying that your dynasty is even more glorious due to the presence of Prahlada. Prahlada Maharaja is there. Prahladan is there. Prahladan is a very great Bhagavatam, and who is like a beautiful moon in the sky. And it was in your dynasty that this Hiranyaksha was born, carrying only his own, gadai, and he wandered the globe alone and without any assistance. He conquered all the directions, and no hero he met could rival him. That is how he was very, very energetic. He was a very great warrior, this Hiranyaksha. But Lord Vishnu, what happened? Lord Vishnu, in his incarnation as a boar, killed Hiranyaksha in a severe fight, and the Lord killed Hiranyaksha, and Hiranyaksha went to Vaikuntham. Later, as the Lord thought about the uncommon prowess of Hiranyaksha, he felt himself victorious. Indeed. So when Hiranyakashipu is the brother of Hiranyaksha. So when Hiranyakashipu heard the news of his brother gone, like his brother being killed, he got very much, with great anger, he went to the Vaikuntham in search of Vishnu, wanting to kill Vishnu. But Vishnu is a Mayavi. So what happened? This Vishnu, he wanted to, he wanted to save himself from Hiranyakashipu. So what happened is he entered into the heart of Hiranyakashipu so that he could not able to find. So Hiranyakashipu, not knowing this, he went in search of Vishnu here and there externally. In a subtle body, what happened in a subtle body that is inconceivable to Hiranyakashipu, Lord Vishnu, who was in great anxiety, he entered Hiranyakashipu's nostril along with his breath. So upon seeing that this Vaikuntham, empty, or the residence of Lord Vishnu was vacant, he searched everywhere. Hiranyakashipu searched everywhere, all directions, and while returning empty-handed, this Mayavi Vishnu, what happened? He slipped out of his nostrils and went to Vaikuntham. So thus your Vamsham, he is telling, this Vamana Murti is telling about his Vamsham, that your Vamsham is such that even Lord Vishnu got scared of your Vamsham. Your father, no words can say, I can't say, no words could describe your father, Virochanan. Your father Virochanan, the son of Prahladan, was very affectionate towards Brahmins. See, once, although he knew very well that it was Devas who had come to him in the dress of Brahmanas, at their request, he delivered to them the duration of his life. Such a great Tyagi, your father Virochanan. Actually, it starts like, Sakshat Brahma. Brahma's son is Marichi, and Marichi's son is Kashyapa, and Kashyapa's son is Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyakashipu's son is Prahlada, and Prahladan's son is Virochanan, and Virochanan's son is Mahabali. That is how it comes up. And now what happens, you also have observed the principles, followed by great personalities who are, householders, Brahmanas, by your forefathers, and by great, heroes who are extremely famous for their exalted activities. Now he is saying, O King of Asuras, Mahabali, I ask, okay, I am here to ask something from you. That is, I ask only 3 paces of land to the measurement of my steps. Okay, Mahabali said, Oh Brahmana, whatever you have said so far you have said so many things about my family, my forefathers, was very much pleasing to me. I thought of giving, a whole village or whatever you want, because, you are, because you are a boy, and because you are a boy and your intelligence, is not that much sufficient, is insufficient. You are not prudent, in regard of your self-interest. So I am able to give Actually, I am able to give you the entire world, I mean, entire island, because I am the Ishwaran. I am the Ishwaran of this island, this whole 3 worlds, 3 dimensions of, divisions of the universe. You have come to take something from me and have pleased me by, giving sweet words, but you are only asking 3 paces of land. Therefore, you are not very intelligent. You are only a small boy. That's why you are asking like this. Please ask me again whatever you want. Whatever you want, that's okay. That's okay. You have asked this thing, but, please ask me again. Whatever you want, you can ask me. I will give it to you. Don't hesitate. The Lord said, oh, my dear king, even the entirety, of whatever there, maybe within the 3 worlds to satisfy one's senses, cannot satisfy a person whose senses are uncontrolled. I'm not like that. I'm not such a Brahmana. So without any argument or fight, there are so much of things between Mahabali and Vamana Murti, but at last he said, this Vamana Murti said, see, without any argument or fight, please give me whatever I have asked. That's enough for me. Mahabali thought, okay, whatever it is, even though it may be a small, a small thing you have asked, certainly punyam will be coming to me. So he also said, see, one who approaches me to beg something should not have to ask anything anymore anywhere. So, but whatever it is, I will give you. Okay, all right. Take whatever you like. To confirm his promise, what happened? To give this Vamana the desired land, he then took up his water pot, that is Gindi, he wanted to pour, to give Dhanam to the Brahmana. So he took up the water pot to give Dhanam. Sukracharya is the spiritual, I told you, Sukracharya is the spiritual master, means spiritual guru of Mahabali, of all the Asuras. So he understood Lord Vishnu's purpose here, why Vishnu has come like this. So he said to Mahabali, he said, please come here. Before doing the Dhanam, please come here. I want to tell you something. He said, O son of Virochana, Mahabali, this Brahmachari, in the form of this, in the form of a dwarf, he is the direct Avataram of Mahavishnu. Accepting Kashyapa Munivar as his dad, as his father, and Aditi Ammal as his mother, he has now appeared here, in order to fulfill the interest of Devas. So you do not know your position. What a dangerous position you have accepted by promising to give him this land. I do not think that this promise is, good for you. It will bring great harm for all the Asuras. Vishnu has come in this form. And he will take away all the land and, give it to Indra. You will lose all your kingdom. And your kingdom will be going to Indran again. And you are going to do a great mistake. And he will get everything and you will have no means of livelihood. And then how then shall you live? So even he said, this Sukracharya said, even in Shastras it is said that one should divide his accumulated wealth into 5 parts. For instance, for example, if you have got 100 rupees, then 20 rupees for religion. 20, religion means dharma, and 20 for reputation, like kirti, and 20 in a bank. Okay, that is for saving, and 20 for spending, and 20 for maintenance of your family. So, so you can say no. No, you can break this promise. Sometimes, you tell him, that, I thought of giving you all the land and everything, but now I feel that it's not good. Okay. You can do that. Sometimes in Shastras it is said that, in in flattering a woman to bring her under control, a person can lie. And as if somebody says you are very beautiful, yeah, just to flatter, just to, and another thing is in joking, you can lie. And in a marriage ceremony, I am poi solli kalyanam mudikran solran. So in marriage ceremony, you can lie. And that lie should be within this shastram. For instance, if somebody is living in front of our house, say a girl is living in front of our house, and she might get anger sometimes. And so if somebody asks you, how is that girl? I want to marry, we want to fix a marriage. And how is that girl? And one should say that the girl is good. You should not describe everything, all the characters of the girl and everything, each and everything. Because vivaham, that is the marriage, is more important. They have to get married. So you can say some lie, but it should be within the shastram in the marriage ceremony. And in order to carry your livelihood means for example, if someone wants to get a job, then if one is writing a recommendation letter, say, you have to, write the recommendation letter like, he's a nice boy or girl. He can do all the work, whatever work you do, you give, he can do, he's able to do it. That's how you have to write the recommendation letter, because it's the livelihood for that person. And if the cow is in danger, one has to protect the cow. That is our culture. So in order to protect a cow, you can have, from a person, from an enemy's hand, falsity is never condemned. You can say, in this connection, Antarama Dikshitar used to tell a story about Haradatta Sivachariyar. In Hamsapura Kshetram, once Haradatta Sivachariyar, in the month of Aipasi, that is during afternoon, he was about to go to Snanam. Snanam means he is about to go to take bath in a river. And since it's a raining month, it will sometimes rain, it will sometimes shine. So it's like that. It was a poor family, and they got only a little bit of paddy. And that too, it is wet because of the rainy season. So in order to dry it out, this Haradatta Sivacharyar's mother, who is too old, and only, half of her eyesight is there. She's too old to see also. And she was looking after the paddy, which was drying out in the front yard. At that time, what happened? One cow came there and started eating the paddy. Seeing this, Haradatta, who was about to go to this Snanam, he went inside the house, brought a pile of water, and, and ran towards the cow. His old mother asked him why he was running, what is happening. Haradatta told, a cow has come and, and was eating the paddy. And since this paddy is with the skin, that is, it has never become rice. So it's a raw thing, and it's with the skin. The cow may get choked. So I am rushing to give the cow water, I'm giving water to the cow so that, the cow doesn't get, choked. So his mother told, what a fool you are. You are so stupid. You are so stupid. We have to drive away. Means we have to scare away, chase the cow away. Who would give that? We have only that much of paddy, that much of little amount of paddy left. And I have to crush the paddy and make it rice and make it, rice and everything. So that, you see what you have done now. After telling everything, the mother chased the cow away. See, Haradatta was a very, Haradatta, he will not, he has a lot of respect towards his mother, and he never opened his mouth, and he went away for Snanam. In the meanwhile, what happened? Tanjavur Maharaja, he has ordered, he sends lot of paddies and grains and, lentils and everything, sack of all the grains in 2 boats. okay, through 2 boats to all the Agnihotris there living there. And the soldiers of Maharaja, they came to, hand over all the, grains to all the Agnihotris, and they came there into the house of this Haradatta's house and started filling the house with all the grains, with all the paddies and groceries and paddies and everything, grains and the old woman asked, what is happening here? Why the soldiers are there? Why the house is being filled up with all the grains? The soldiers said, Maharaja has ordered to give all the grains to all the Agnihotris, and they said, see, we got 2 boat full of all the paddies and grains. But what happened is now, meanwhile, in the middle of the thing, the cyclone, but due to this cyclone, 1 boat got drowned, and only the grains from the other boats, the leftover boat is here, and this is how it is. Otherwise, the 2 boats will be full of paddies and all the grains, and that itself, the 1 boat full of paddy itself, filled the whole house. The old woman was very, very happy. When Haradatta returned from, taking bath from the snanam, he saw the house full of grains and everything, and his mother looking so happy, excitingly, she was receiving Haradatta and told all the story about all the Maharaja and all the grains and paddies and everything. She also told that all the, grains are from 1 boat. And she said the other boat got drowned because of the cyclone. Haradatta smiled. He said, ma, in the morning what happened? You chased the cow away. You resisted the cow from eating the paddies, the rest of the paddies. And you allowed only eating the paddies only this much of amount, and you chased the cow away. If you have not chased the cow away, then you would have gotten the, grains and paddies from the other boat also. See, think for yourself, if a cyclone occurs, why is that 1 boat is drowned and other boat is safe? See, both should have drowned. So this is because of chasing the cow. See, that much of respect they have shown towards the cow in our culture, in our, in our Hinduism, in our country. So this is how. So here, here, all these things, Shukracharya, he was all, he was telling about all these things. And so we can, we can lie for some reason, for something. Now here the situation is that our kingdom has to go. No, this Mayavi has come to take away the kingdom, cheating you. So you can say no to Vamana Murti. So this is for protecting the lives of all the asuras. So you just tell him that I don't feel comfortable now. Okay, initially I told that I will give you all things, but now I don't feel comfortable giving you. Having heard the advice of this Shukracharya, this is spiritual guru, Maharaja Bali became silent for some time. And then after full deliberation, he replied, see, I am the grandson of Prahlada. How can I withdraw my promise, because of the greed of money? When I have already said that I shall give, this land, how can I behave like an ordinary, cheater, especially towards a Brahmana? On top of it, I'm not going to take anything from this earth when I die. So if a Brahmana is taking all our wealth, okay, that's okay, it's fine. It's very auspicious, giving that. And on top of it, you said that this Brahmana is not as an ordinary Brahmana. This Lord Vishnu himself has come. So it's more auspicious. And he also quoted, Mahabali, he also says that you are a great sage. You're a great saintly person like you, being completely aware of these Vedic principles for performing the ritualistic ceremonies and yajnas, worship Lord Vishnu in all the circumstances. So therefore, whether the same Lord Vishnu has come here to give me all the benedictions, or to punish me as an enemy, I must carry out his order and give him the, requested tract of land without any hesitation. Here, Sukracharya, Sugacharya told to Parikshit, in spite of warning, Mahabali continued to be in his truth, in his honesty, without breaking the promise. So, but what happened is Sukracharya, because he's a guru, isn't it? So he got angry and, he cursed. He cursed his exalted disciple, that is Mahabali, who was so magnanimous and fixed in this truthfulness, that instead of respecting his spiritual Acharya, he wanted to disobey his order. So he said, although you have knowledge, although you have no knowledge, you have become so-called learned person. And therefore, you dare be so impudent, as to disobey my order. And because of disobeying me, you shall very soon be bereft of all your, opulence. He cursed. This Vamana Murti wanted Sukracharya to curse Mahabali. That's how it happened. But Mahabali never bothered. He never bothered. He never deviated, he never deviated from his determination. So what happened? He started giving the dhanam. That is, as per the custom, he first offered water to the Vamana Murti and then offered him to the gift of land, he had promised. But at that time, what happened? A surprise happened. What happened? The Vindhyavali. Vindhyavali is the wife of Mahabali. She came and grabbed this water pot from Mahabali's hand. Mahabali was initially afraid. Wow, oh my God. Now our Acharya, our beloved Acharya, he refused to give. He refused me from giving this dhanam. Now my wife Vindhyavali, she is coming and refusing. What will happen if this becomes the internal problem, no? If I have to hear my wife, otherwise, there will be an internal fight between us. But to his surprise, what happened is Vindhyavali, she told him that it is her duty to pour water as his wife. The wife has to pour water, and she poured and washed the lotus feet of the small Vamana Murti. So, Mahabali, jubilantly washed the Lord's lotus feet and then took the water on his head, so that the water, delivers the entire universe. Seeing that, at that time, seeing what was happening, all the Devas, all the Gandharvas, all the Vidyadharas, the Siddhas, Charanas, all being very pleased by this Mahabali's, Mahabali's simple, duplicitous act. They all praised his qualities, and showered upon him millions of flowers. They never poured flowers to Vamana Murti, that is Lord Vishnu, but they poured flowers to Mahabali for his act, for his beautiful act. What a difficult task he has performed. Even though he knew that this Lord Vishnu on the side of his enemies, he, nonetheless gave the Lord the entire 3 world in charity. After coming out from the flowers, all the flowers, he was hiding himself inside the flower. That is, all the millions of flowers, Devas have put all the flowers. So after he saw this Vamana Murti, this Supreme Lord, who had assumed the form of the universe, then began increasing in, size, acting in terms of his, material energy, with everything in the universe was in his body. Like inside the, in his body, his, including the earth, including the planetary system, the sky, the directions, the various holes in the universe, the seas, the oceans, the birds, the beasts, human beings, and the demigods, devas, and the great saintly persons. He took the avataram, that is Trivikrama Avataram. From Vamana Avataram, he took the Trivikrama Avataram. And here Sukacharya describes to Parikshit about that Trivikrama Avataram. It is like, underneath this Trivikraman's leg are the, all the 7 lokams, like, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Talatala, Patala. All the 7 lokams were hanging. And above his leg is the earth. And in his jangai, the mountains. In his knee, the birds. In his thighs, Sapta Maharishihal, Sapta Marutukal. And in his Guhya Pradesam, Nava Prajapatihal. And in his hip, that is the hip cloth, Sandhya Devate. And in Prabhu's, belly button, Akasham is there. And in his stomach, all the 7 oceans. In the Manasu, Chandran. In his Buddhi, Brahma. In his chest, Dharma. And in the Sthanam, we can see the Ritham and Satyam. And in his heart, Vakshasthalam, the Mahalakshmi is in the Vakshasthalam. And in his neck, Samadhi Vedangal are roaring. All the Vedas are roaring. And all the stars are dangling. And in his Vaka, Agni. And in his tongue, Varunan. And in his nose, Vayu. His forehead, angry. And eyes, Suryan. And head, Sorgam. And his hair, clouds. And in the 2 ears, all the 10 directions. And the hair follicles, Aushadhi. And, and the Prabhu's head, Yajnam. And his smile is Maya. And in his back is Adharma. This is how he appeared, with all the rivers as blood vessels. And this big appearance, this big Murti has Shangu, Chakaram, Padmam, Gaustubam, and Gadai. This is how Mahabali saw. This is how Mahabali saw, had the darshan of Trivikrama Avataram. This is one of the Vishwarupa Avataram only. This is one of the Vishwarupam. See, all the Asuras were scared. Mahabali was looking at everything. Everything he is seeing. Bhagavan blows his Panchajanya, Shankha, in order to show his victory in the right hand. In Tirukovalur, you can see Perumal having the Panchajanya, Shankha in his right hand, blowing in order to show his victory. And even in Thiruvalikeni, you can see Perumal blowing Panchajanya to show the victory of, Arjuna in his right hand. So thus he covered the entire earth and all the planets in the first step. And in the second step, he covered all the heavenly planets, and not even a spot remained for the third step. For that the Lord's foot extended higher and higher, beyond Maharalokam, Janalokam, Tapolokam, and even Satyalokam. Satyalokam, in the Satyalokam, Lord Brahma washed the lotus feet with the Ganges water. Then the Swami demanded, for a step in angry. He wanted to show an anger to Mahabali. He just thought that at least at some time Mahabali will say something in, due to Tamoganam. But what happened is Mahabali, so he wanted to tie Mahabali with the ropes of Varuna Pasam. That is Varuna. Mahabali was arrested by Lord Vishnu like that, But even then Mahabali was so determined. The Lord said, you have promised me. You have promised to give me 3 steps of land. But I have occupied the entire universe with 2 steps. Now you think about where should I put my third? Lord Vishnu is superficially, seemed to have acted mischievously, towards Bali. You're not giving me the third step. A place for the third step. So you have to go to hell. But Bali said, how can you punish me? I have not said anything about not giving, isn't it? But Bhagavan said, I have taken everything from you. So how can you give me? Where should I put my third step? Bali said in tears, Oh Bhagavan, oh Swami, you can put your step, the third step on my head, which is the place where you have never touched. And the Bhagavan put his third step, upon Mahabali and pressed him underneath. That is, he pushed underneath. Mahabali got scared now and asked him, see, even though you are pushing me to the hell, see, when can I come and see you in Vaikundam? At least one time I have to come and see you in Vaikundam, because he was so pleased. The Lord was so pleased. He said, oh Rajanna, because of your great tolerance, I have given you a place not obtainable even to Devas. You will become the kingly, become king of the heavenly planets. During the period of Manu. And, until Bali achieves the position of king of the heaven, he shall live in the planet called Suthala, because it is especially protected by me. He said that it's especially protected by me. It's free from all the mental and bodily miseries, fatigue, dizziness, and, defeat and all, other disturbances. So Bali, you can go and live there peacefully, and you can live in this planet till the, Vaivashvata Manmantram ends. But meanwhile, you cannot come and see me in Vaikundam. You cannot see me in Vaikundam, because even if you come and see in the Vaikundam, I will not be there, because I have to stay as a security guard at your place, protecting you as a soldier there in your planet, because I have become indebted to you. Thus, Swami took this Vamana Avataram and gave all the opulences, all the things, prosperity to the Maharaja, Mahabali, and gave the kingdom and, take the kingdom from Mahabali, took the kingdom from Mahabali and gave it to Devendra, who is the brother of his elder brother, and made his mother, Aditi, happy. See here, this Vamana Avataram is more very, very, very auspicious charitram, very, very auspicious charitram. It is said that those who hear about this charitram of Vamana Avataram are certainly freed from all the results of all the sinful activities. Urukramasya charitam, that is, the sins we have committed till this moment will be wiped off hearing Vamana Avataram. The sins you do in future, the papam you do in future will be an opening of a new account now. So those who hear this charitram will be elevated to the higher planets, higher planetary system, even, near to the Lord, even with the Lord. And this charitram is even told in ritualistic ceremonies. The Devas in this Vamana Avatara Charitram is told all in ritualistic ceremonies, because, the Devas and Pitrus and all the other, even the God gets very happy, giving all prosperity and Sarva Mangalam to all the people who hear this Charitram. And this is the Vamana Avataram. I think it took some time because I have to finish this Vamana Avataram this time. So it may take a little bit long time. So we'll conclude this with Puranamadam today in this session, and we'll end this. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next session.